Well, hello, good afternoon, and all of that fun stuff. Welcome again to another episode, or should we call it an episode, of Friday Night Treats with Tina, or you want to call it Tina the Keto Coach's Friday Night Treats with Tina. Well, today I'm going to do something nice, fun, quick, and easy. It's kind of in the food preparation category for your weekly food prep when you're going keto or carnivore or whatever regimen you have. It's kind of hard to keep things top of mind at the beginning of the week or at the end of the previous week. So we can say, since this is Friday, that this is the end of the previous week. So what I want to do is make some sausage and egg muffins. Now this is just a quick compilation. You all can make it any way you like, any way you choose, and everything. So I'm going to start out with this. Because I had, matter of fact, I'm using my large muffin pan. This isn't like the small, regular size muffins. This is the larger ones. What I'm going to do, I'm going to lay out my wax paper. And you know, I like to turn it on the opposite side to work with so it won't be curling up and everything. And I'm going to take, I need a knife, my sausage, whatever type of rolled sausage that you want. This one, mild, you know, if you want the hot, if you want the sage, whatever. Great for breakfast or a quick snack. Easy to carry with you and all of that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and make this. See, I like the hot sausage, but I have to cook for other people in my household. So you'll see those later on. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out. I like to cut this in at least a full inch, you know. You'll see. Let me get this end piece out of here. At least an inch. So you'll see what I'm going to do. See where I have my knife? I like to cut at least that much. Is that an inch or maybe? I know it's more than a half an inch. So since my muffin pan has 6 bases, I'm going to cut 6. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's one thing I'm trying to get people to understand when you're starting a regimen, a new fitness health program. You don't have to have the perfect stuff to do anything at all. Just to show you that it can be easy. Don't feel like you have to have special knives, special cups, special utensils. I had a relative that used to be that way. Every time she would start something, a new diet, she would always feel like she had to do special things or get special equipment just to do certain things whenever she was trying to make a dietary lifestyle change. I'm going to put this sausage on the side. And frankly, I think that was kind of an impediment upon her progress, because things weren't, if it wasn't in the exact order that she wanted it to be in, she would falter a little bit. And I would try to encourage her to, don't do that. Just go ahead and just do it. Doesn't have to be fancy. Bottom line is, as long as you are doing it. If you're doing it, that's fine. If you're going ahead and make your whatever recipes that you have, use what you got at the moment. Just like, for example, a lot of you that are starting keto, sometimes it can be very overwhelming when you start learning what you should be eating, what you shouldn't be eating. It's going to take a few years, to be honest with you, to get the swing of things. It really is. But it's worth it in the long run as far as getting your lifestyle and your dietary practices together. It really is. Just like this particular brand of sausage, it does have sugar listed, and it has MSG, monosodium glutamate. Sometimes, unless you have serious allergies towards the MSG, sometimes you can't avoid it. But just go ahead, enjoy your life, live your life, have it, as long as it doesn't register on your on the scale when you're trying to eat ketogenically. But eventually you'll get to the point, like sometimes you can make your own sausage, you know, if you have the time. But I'm helping you, those of you that just, you know, I understand sometimes I don't have the time. You just want to just start, just do it. And no, you don't always have to have organic food or grass-fed, this and that. A lot of people still can't afford it, and that's okay. Doesn't mean that you can't start this lifestyle. So go ahead and do what you can. And then the other caveat, sure, a lot of us have to cook. We have to realize that we have other people in the family. We have spouses, significant others, children, or whatever have you that you all have to cook for. And sometimes it's not necessarily the right timing, or could be incongruent for you to make certain specific things that are ketogenic that may not meet the needs of your family. And that's okay. I'm here to help you and teach you how to get past that and everything. Oh, just a little bit of sausage. Let me get a little bit more. See what I mean? Not perfect. It's okay to go back, get a little bit more if you need it. Can you believe I've been doing this for 2 years in front of you all? 2 years. And those of you that have businesses, I encourage you to do the same thing. Get in front of your Facebook and start your different social medias and go ahead and go for it. Once a week, once a month, or whatever you can do. You know, go for it. So, putting this in here, like so. Then I'm going to fold this up, throw this in the trash, put this on the side, wash my hands a little bit, because this is ground pork, so you know, gotta be careful. And the water's nice, my water is nice and hot, so I'm going to go ahead and clean my hands good. Here we are. Pull this up to me. Now, like I said, this is the mild sausage, whatever it is. I even had some frozen peppers and onions that you can buy from the store, believe it or not. And I'm going to put a little bit, maybe like a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of the peppers and onions in here. You can add more if you want to do mushrooms, or add mushrooms to this, or tomato. However you want. Be creative. And remember, these things are freezable. You can stick them in your freezer, pop one out in the morning, stick it in the microwave. That's your breakfast. Quick, easy breakfast. You can make a dozen of these easily. Add some more of these peppers. Actually, I'm going to try to use this up that I made. I just sauteed them a little bit. I didn't even season them. Because remember, the sausage is going to have enough salt and different seasonings in it anyway. So you won't need to do that. And the cheese I'm going to use is already salted up. So you don't need to add extra salt to something like this. Always keep things like that in mind. So this is what I did. See, that's what I got so far. You know? Go ahead and crack my eggs. Crack my eggs. Like it doesn't have to be perfect. If one of your yolks bust, that's okay. That's fine. And I usually cook this at 350 for 30 minutes or maybe 45 minutes. Because sometimes I don't want my yolk to cook all the way. I still like it a little, not really runny, but a little poached-ish. And remember that sausage, because it's at the bottom, it still has to definitely cook. You want to make sure of that. Go ahead and throw this in here. Although it's raw, it looks pretty. See? There we go. Wash my hands again. Go ahead and get a good wash. See how that looks with just the raw egg in there? You can see that. Next, I'm going to sprinkle my cheese. You can use any cheese. American cheese, Gruyere, cheddar, sharp cheddar, Mexican blend, Parmesan, Romano, whatever you want. Mozzarella, provolone, doesn't matter. I like cheeses that have a little bit of bite to them. Because I'm using here, this is taco blend and Mexican blend cheeses that I'm using on here. I'm just going to cover that. And I'm going to put this in my oven on 350. And like I said, let it cook for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Depends on the consistency that you want your eggs to be in. Everybody's different. As long as that sausage is turn one, because as long as you're using a non-stick, also use a non-stick pan or some type of silicone pan, so it's easy for you to see and stick a fork in it to make sure that the sausage is indeed cooked for sure. So I'm going to go ahead, see that, put this in my oven. Turn this on. See that? Like I said, this might be a fast one today. Usually, you know, I talk on and on and on, you know, and I encourage you to comment, like, share. If you have questions about starting the ketogenic lifestyle, you know, everybody's experiences are unique, you know. I wish I was one of those people that lose 80 pounds quick and you're done with it, you know, because like basically me, when I see myself on the Instagram and on the whatevers, I go, oh my God, I look like I haven't lost anything, but I have. Like I said, I'm down to a size petite 8 in a medium size type of a blouse or whatever have you. But I'm very petite. I'm only 5'1", so that makes a difference too. And I think if I'm looking at how, I guess the way you're supposed to look far as media, usually people my height should give you an idea, ladies, like a size 0 or 2. I doubt if I ever get that way. So, but I'm trying. But my thing is, I'm staying the course. I've always had the attitude of, for your health, even if you never physically change, whatever the reason, but still investigate why that may be with your doctor, and always consult your doctor. Still stay the course as far as how you're eating, exercising. I have a strong, powerful workout regimen. I do work out 4 to 5 times a week. I do some type of aerobic activity for at least 1 hour and 10. Then I do something with weights for about another half hour to 45 minutes or more. This is 4 or 5 times a week that I do this. Yes, I do. You know, so, and there are benefits to that too. So, and remember, later this year, I will be the big 5'8" in years. So I think that's a blessing, you know. So just encouraging you, especially people that are around my age, it's never too late. Don't stop. Keep going, you know. Of course, starting off, it's going to be slow. It's going to be arduous. It's going to be a pain in the butt. But you have to think about your longevity, your health, and of course, I always say, we're not here forever. You know, we're not. But at least you want to stave off suffering, if you will, if you can. It depends on your situation and circumstance, you know. You want to at least stave it off some. So that's what I'm here to help you to do, just to help you get better. But it's still ultimately up to you. I can't make you do anything. Although I'm a coach, I can't make you do a thing. I can give you the information. I can, like they say, lead a horse to water. I can put your face right there in the water, but if you're not willing to drink it, I can't make you drink the water. So it gets to the point where you have to make up your own mind as to what you want to do with your life to make yourself the best you can, body, mind, soul, and spirit. What is it you want to do? And I tell people to write it down. What are your physical goals? You know, what are your intellectual goals, which is the mind, and what are your spiritual goals? You know, what is it you're trying to accomplish? What's your outcome? What are you planning to do on a daily basis? And sometimes even saying on a daily basis, every now and again, yes, you do take a break. Every once in a while, maybe every 3 months, I take a break from working out. I'll take a full week, just chill, because you got to give your body's muscles and things time to recuperate. But believe you me, I jump right back in it. No question about it. And sometimes after a few days, I start feeling kind of not too great, you know, and I miss it. So that's good that I've gotten to that point where when I don't do it, I miss it. So it's easy for me to get back into it. So that way I can show you how to make that easy for you. Sometimes when I'm in the process of working out, I do feel like, oh God, I have to do this again today. But then I think about the end result, how good I feel afterwards, that I'm able to run up steps, you know, I'm able to do certain things. Don't you want to be able to do those things too, you know? And the other thing about this ketogenic lifestyle, and if you want to try carnivore, it helps with inflammation in the body if you have it. If you have it, most people after a particular age, especially in the past 30, 40 years, because of the standard American diet and the manufactured foods, most of us have some type of inflammation in and of the body, whether you have arthritis, whatever type of form of arthritis, or some type of achiness in your joints, or if you're lethargic or whatever, or even allergies and constantly getting colds and respiratory infection. So usually that's an indicator that there's some inflammatory issues in the body. Sometimes they're not avoidable, but you can do everything you can to stave them off some so they won't be as bad, so you can still function and enjoy life. That's the bottom line. Can you still enjoy your life? You can go and come as you please. You can do things that you like to do, things like that. That's what I want to help you to maintain and stay. And as I always say, I'm not a doctor. I don't have any licenses and anything like that. I'm just here to help and speak from my experience. And those of you that watch me, I'm sure you may see changes. Some of you may don't see any changes. You know, I'm not skinny, but that's okay. But I'm getting other very good positive results. And remember, the ketogenic diet it really wasn't a diet to start. It was a protocol for children that had epilepsy. But they just start noticing certain caveats that people were experiencing, children and people as they became adults. They were they maintain a certain weight loss, and if you're a man, you maintain your muscle definition, or you had more muscle definition, a lot of different things. So I tell people, you don't have to take my word for it. I'm just giving you my experience. Go ahead and research it and check it out for yourself, you know. So it's quite real. I'm getting to the point where, I have gotten to the point where even if I'm out and about with friends and family, even the place that I work, they always have all kinds of food and this is and that's and eating and this. It doesn't even faze me. I bring my own stuff because to me it's not worth feeling physically miserable or ill eating those things that everybody seems to enjoy. And a lot of them are interested. It's like, well, what are you doing? Like if they have cake, I'll make my own cake, bring a piece in for me. If they have certain types of meats, I bring that too. And I had to explain to one that the reason why I have to be mindful of the meat, the seasonings, as I told you all before, read your labels. Oh my goodness, read your labels. Sometimes it's okay, like today, this has a little sugar, monosodium glutamate. Sometimes you can't avoid it, you know, and it doesn't register that badly, so it's okay once in a while. But a lot of seasonings have a lot of corn syrup, modified food starch, and sugar, and all kinds of other things that I don't even know why they even put it in. It's almost as if like, why do these food manufacturers, I think they're thinking of shelf life. I know I hear all kinds of conspiracy theories, and I hope they're not. I don't believe they're doing things to hurt their consumers. I don't believe that. I think certain ingredients were meant to use to give things shelf life because they didn't know how long or if something would sell, you know. So they had to make sure it stayed on the shelf. But unfortunately, a lot of things in these foods that to give more shelf life affect the human body in a negative way. So, excuse the cough, and I have a fan blowing on me over here because it's a little warm in here. I won't be sweating like I have been. Yeah, but basically that's it. You have to really, really investigate and read and check out things on your own. You have to be your own personal self-advocate. You really, really do. You really do. So other than that, I'm going to go ahead and get one of these so you can see what this looks like. another knife. Look at that. See? I'm going to cut this. Oh wow, look at that. Doesn't that look good? Looks like some kind of pie, but it's not. Get me a fork. See, but this, on this one I made the hot sausage. This one is the regular mild. Look. Yes, perfect for quick snack, quick meal if you're in a hurry in the morning. If you freeze them, take them out at night so they can thaw. Stick it in the microwave. This is really good. And I know, whoops, some of you have seen other examples of these on various social media and influencer platforms. Feel free to try them all or create your own. This is delicious. Look at that. It's a muffin, but it's a savory muffin, put it that way. As I always say, I wish you all were here to enjoy, because you know I like to share. Other than that, thank you all for joining me. This has been another Friday Night Treats with Tina the Keto Coach. Thank you all for watching and checking in. You all have a great weekend. See you soon. Love you all. Bye-bye.